Right, so I haven't done a video in a while, and I always have these problems getting the time to make videos, but I was just so excited to come out and try this. A couple of months ago, a channel on YouTube by Mr. Dyer's Musing, which is, if you don't know, Sean has a blog like Honourable Outfitters, but he did a video on a nessmuk in cat art axe that he had commissioned to be made by Lockhart, sorry, I apologise, Lockhart Ironworks down in Ohio, where Sean's also located. But in doing so, he actually commissioned two of each to be made. The cap arts were taken, he kept one of each model and then sold the other two, and I just, being a massive follower of nessmuk's work and his writings, I just had to get it. It's taken a while to get here, but I'm really pleased. So I'll just take out this sheath that Sean also made and sent it, and if you don't know, he's an absolute gentleman. I had some problems with customs and stuff, and he's been a real diamond and a great help, and he really he looked after us getting this delivered. You can see it's a 15.5 ounce head, and which is what Sean reckons nessmuk's hatchet would have been. It's really small. I mean, I'll actually show you the sheath first, but this is what Sean made. He also made the handle. Lockhart Ironworks only made the head, and he made the handles, and he made this beautiful sheath. It's out of really nice leather, really nice to stitch together, sort of like a slip-on sheath design. It really is lovely. It's copper rivets, and yep, you can smell it. It's genuine leather. It's lovely. But going back, Sean also made the handle, and it really is a small axe head. If you don't already know, the grinds on a double bit are such as you've got a thinner edge for clean cutting timber, felling trees, taking limbs off, things like that, and you've got more stout edge, which is more designed for splitting and knots and things, working the other ground. nessmuk used his for that, but also for breaking through the sternums and pelvic bones of deer he had harvested, and this is very much the same. More or less, from what I gather, this is the steeper side, and this is the thinner edge. This is for splitting, this is for cutting clean timber, as nessmuk described. But like, when I seen it on his channel, I just had to get it. It didn't have this looking handle. The one he had made was a bit more of a flared out at the bottom handle, really nice, but this is lovely, and for the size of it, it gives you a lot to hold on to, and for 15.5 ounces, it's surprisingly hefty. And I think that's where, being so short, I think this is about a 12-inch handle. I think Sean's is 14, but this is about 12, I think. But it complements the size of the axe head. Lovely. It really is nice. There's no wobble. He's hafted it really well. I had to have it. I'm a massive follower of nessmuk's writings, and I've just been out today. I'm filming this after the field trial, so to speak, cutting some green wood, which Sean was unable to do in his video showing his nessmuk and the cap art. He was unable to cut green timber, as was the landowner's request. So I decided to come out, cut some hazel back, and it performed flawlessly. I then cut down the hazel into smaller pieces, which it did really well. Sharpen a point on a stick, so simulating making a tent peg, or a peg for a tarp, or a trap, or a cook set up on over a fire. It performed really well, and then I decided to take the splitting edge and try it. It's a bit dirty, as you can see from cutting wood for the first time, but it split pine really well, as you can see in the video. The hazel I found was probably the most fibrous, sticky bit of dry hazel I've ever actually come across. It seemed to bind together. It kept together, so it wasn't splitting as freely as obviously the pine was, but the fibres were just holding the piece together. But I have to say, it performed really well. I'm so chuffed to be the owner of this, and there's only two of these in existence. Mr. Lockhart, who forged the head, said he'll probably never ever make any of these ever again. So to own such a sort of almost one of a kind, two of a kind piece, one of two, one of a pair. Obviously Mr. Dyer's got the other, Sean, and I've got this one. So, and because of the trouble that went through with customs and stuff, and I managed to get it today, it sort of fits at the what nessmuk was saying about how he had to acquire, the trouble he had to go to acquire his hatchet, which he describes in woodcraft and camping. But performed flawlessly. Is it the perfect hatchet for everyone? No, probably not. It's quite small, it lacks a hammer pull, it's only got maybe 2-inch bits, blades edges on it, 2-inch bits. But for its size, it's really packable and small, and I just had to own it as a fan of nessmuk, and also a fan of Sean's channel. And if you haven't checked it out, you should really go, which is Honourable Outfit, as Mr. Dyer's musings. An absolute gentleman. It was a pleasure to swap over cash for this, and it was a bit pricey, but I've got no complaints at all. It's forged by an amazing blacksmith over in America and sold by a true gentleman of a cousin from across the pond. It's, like I say, not the perfect axe, which is nothing wrong with the axe itself in its build or whatever, but it's just not, it hasn't got a hammer pull, it's small. You've also got the inherent danger of the extra bit coming back at the user. There's always an edge out to get you, but I'll use it, I'll love it, I'll cherish it, I'll hand it down to the future generation, and it just looks cool. You don't see many double bits that small. Well, you never do. You never see double bits that small. And double bits aren't even common over here. But that was just a video. I'm recording this bit at the end of testing, but I'm truly chuffed. And if Sean's watching this, I really appreciate it. It was an amazing experience working with you, and you were so cooperative. Back and forth emails if there was any troubles with shipping or anything. You were a gem, a diamond, as we could say over here. So I hope you're watching. So like I say, that was just a little video on this little nessmuk, as accurate of a replica of nessmuk's hatchet as you'll find anywhere, really, I think, unless someone sees the original, which I've got a lead on who actually does have the original, but that's a story for another video. Commissioned by Sean Dyer for Lockhart Ironworks, and that's just been a little video on a nessmuk hatchet. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the trail soon. Right, so let's try the more steep grain side for some splitting. Start with some pine. A nice round bit of hazel. I think the bark was trying to keep that on a bit. Very fibrous. It's not splitting the best. It's a bit better.